The devastating flooding in June left many people's homes damaged in the valley. Some are still recovering tonight. Good evening, I'm Nicole Hickel.
And I'm Chris Jacobs. Even though improvements are underway, some property owners in McAllen say their neighborhoods have been ignored by city leaders. CBS 4's Maribel Gonzalez joins us in our Far McAllen newsroom with more on what people are saying. Maribel.
Nicole, Chris, just a few hours ago, dozens of South McAllen residents showed up to City Hall demanding answers from city leaders. Now, they say that though millions of dollars have been allocated towards drainage improvement projects, very little of those funds is going towards their communities.
People in South McAllen are tax-paying citizens as well.
They call themselves the forgotten community.
And that they should not be forgotten or only remembered once voting season arrives.
But on Monday night, they wanted to make their presence known. Dozens of South McAllen Colonia residents and faith leaders went to the McAllen City Commission demanding answers from city leaders. South McAllen resident Daisy Palomo says many people's homes were destroyed following the June floods, but it's something that residents like her say could have been avoided.
We want to make sure that the people who live there and the children and the elderly have a good quality of life as well.
In May, McAllen voters approved around $22 million towards drainage improvements, but some South McAllen residents say very little went towards communities in their area.
I understand people's frustration, certainly.
McAllen Mayor Jim Darling says the South McAllen neighborhoods in question were flooded for non-drainage issues.
I think one of the issues there was a pump went out, and so that's kind of a little different than the bond issue.
Darling says these communities were not intentionally left out of the bond projects, but does acknowledge that the annexed communities in South McAllen, like Colonia Balboa, do require a lot of improvements.
We annexed it way back in the 60s. It's an example of one of those subdivisions that probably should have never gotten approved at the time, but it did.
Meanwhile, residents like Rita Rivas say they will keep insisting that city leaders help communities in South McAllen because to her, that is where the most help is needed. Mayor Darling did tell me that he was going to come up with an action plan to address the concerns of these in the communities of South McAllen. Although he did not say what that action plan would entail, nor did he say when it would take place. Live in the Far McAllen newsroom with complete Valley coverage, Maribel Gonzalez, CBS 4 Valley Tonight.